You got your ring on?
Well, that's the I can't feel my face ring we've been hearing about.
So when they wanted to put this project out, Universal told Def Jam, well, Lil Wayne still didn't give us his album yet. So if y'all want to put this project out, we're taking 95%. And Def Jam, y'all can take 5%. And they say, Cam, we love you and all that, but we're not doing that. We can't do it. I said, but they really want to come out. I said, Cam, you listen, we're going to get 2.5%. And Universal gets 95%. But Steve Garley and Def Jam at the particular time didn't okay it. But I get the blame. Yo, Cam is hating. Cam don't want Juelz project to come out. Y'all up, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, all right, fine, whatever.
You got a lot of people that feel that way. That feel like Wayne, he got that rock star look for you.
Wayne was a student of the game, just like we all should be. I know I was. Anything niggas say Wayne got from me, you know what I mean? Niggas don't know I took things from Wayne, you know what I'm saying? Or niggas may know too. But at the end of the day, that's what it was. You supposed to figure out what you could take from somebody and add to your arsenal. You know what I'm saying? And learn how to do that, but still be.
The crazy part is this story didn't start with beef, ego, or some quiet feud. It started with a dream collab the whole game thought was locked in. People were hyped, talking like a Lil Wayne and Juelz Santana joint album was about to break the whole scene open. Fans were already imagining the track list, the features, the energy. Everything felt like it was about to explode into something legendary. But out of nowhere, the whole thing went silent and nobody knew why. The streets kept tossing around wild theories, saying stuff like the chemistry fell apart or someone got too big-headed, but none of that was real.
The most ridiculous rumor, I don't know, man. It's a lot of them. Let me think. I'm trying to think of the most ridiculous. Okay, I'll give you one. The most ridiculous rumor, I don't know if it's more ridiculous. I'm just thinking of a ridiculous one. So, you know, niggas like, yo, Juelz and Lil Wayne was supposed to do an album one time. And niggas like, Kim don't want the Lil Wayne and Juelz project to come out. Yo, I don't know why he's stopping it, this, that, and third. And look, I ain't gonna front, this kind of like when we all wasn't on the same page. So what happened is when niggas was doing the album, and I'm one of them niggas, me and you used to come to me with mad shit niggas talk about me, and I used to ignore it. Then I got to the point like, you cool enough for me to explain shit to you, because I don't like explaining myself to niggas. Believe what you want to believe. I don't give a fuck. And so when I started, me and you got really cool, and I was clearing shit up with you, and then had called niggas, they did, like Tito, for instance, you be like, oh, get the fuck out of here this whole time, etc. Well, it was a time Juelz was supposed to put out a project with Lil Wayne, and it didn't happen.
The truth stayed under wraps for years until Camron stepped in and finally laid it all out in a way nobody expected. Cam didn't sugarcoat a thing when he explained what actually went down, and honestly, it shocked a lot of people. He said the album didn't hit the world because of straight-up business problems, the kind that make or break careers. It had nothing to do with bad blood, nothing to do with talent, and nothing to do with ego. It was all about the way the label had the money sliced up and the numbers were wild. According to Cam, the whole thing fell apart because Universal had the percentages locked tight in their favor. At that time, Lil Wayne hadn't even turned in his own solo album yet. So when the idea for the collab came up, the label wasn't trying to hear anything unless it benefited them first. They were pushing for a setup where around 95% of the money went straight to Universal, while the artists, the ones actually making the music, were left with barely 2%. That's not a deal, that's a trap.
And they was like, Cam don't want the project to come out. Cam don't want the project to come out. And that's not what happened. What happened was, Lil Wayne, and mind you, Lil Wayne wasn't the superstar. He was a star, but remember, Lil Wayne emerged into a superstar after the Carter 1 and Carter 2 and 3 and a million, all that shit. So he didn't put out his first album yet, talking about Lil Wayne. So Juelz and Lil Wayne had a project. They did. Def Jam is under Universal, which Lil Wayne was signed to. So when they wanted to put this project out, Universal told Def Jam, well, Lil Wayne still didn't give us his album yet. So if y'all want to put this project out, we're taking 95%, and Def Jam, y'all can take 5%.
Camron basically had to step back and say, this makes no sense for anybody, because nobody wants to drop a major project just to watch the label walk off with everything. And for once, nobody could argue with him because the math was ugly. Even with all the hype in the world, dropping an album under numbers like that would have been a financial disaster. The wildest part is how long the truth stayed hidden. People kept running with rumors, acting like they knew the story, when the real reason was all paperwork and percentages the whole time. And when Cam finally spoke on it, the whole situation suddenly made sense in a way it never had before. He even teased that the story gets crazier, saying the most ridiculous rumor was still floating around out there, ready to be cleared up next. This whole thing had layers, and every single one of them shows how deep the business side of music really goes. What really blows people's minds about this whole situation is how often folks forget the business side of hip-hop. Everybody loves the music, the energy, the culture, but when it comes to paperwork, percentages, and contracts, most people don't even look twice, and that's exactly why this whole story gets misunderstood so fast. A lot of people tried to twist it like Camron stopped the Lil Wayne and Juelz Santana project because he wanted control or he was acting stubborn, but that's not even close to the truth. The real reason was buried deep in the business structure, the kind of stuff regular listeners never see, and it shows how messy things can get behind the scenes.
And so Steve Garley, shout out to Steve Garley, he's now the lawyer, the head lawyer for Universal. At the time, he was the lawyer for Def Jam. And we still good to this day. Now go find Steve Garley and ask him that. Niggas don't know who Steve Garley is. Niggas just want to blame Cam. We had a joint venture deal with Def Jam. So if that project came out, that means that Def Jam would get 2%, 2.5% of the album, and me and Juelz would get 2.5% of the album. And they say, Cam, we love you and all that, but we're not doing that. We can't do it. I said, but they really want to come out. I said, Cam, you listen, we're going to get 2.5%. And Universal gets 95%. And they was more on that tip because Lil Wayne didn't even handle his project yet. So they like, how are we gonna okay the Juelz and Wayne project if Lil Wayne didn't even handle his project? Maybe we can revisit it after Lil Wayne's project comes out. But until then, no, we're taking 95% because I don't know how much they gave Lil Wayne. You know, at that time, you get an advance, a budget, and they probably was thinking, well, where's our money for what we gave Wayne? And that part is all speculation.
When Cam broke it down, it became clear that the whole situation was about timing, label rules, and percentages that would have straight up robbed the artists if they went through with it. The label wanted the lion's share, and the artists, the actual creators, were basically supposed to walk away with crumbs. That setup would have wrecked everyone involved, and Cam wasn't about to let that happen. And honestly, that move took real vision because plenty of people would have dropped the album anyway just to ride the hype wave. But Cam was thinking bigger and smarter, looking at the long-term picture instead of chasing quick attention. That's leadership right there, and it shows he wasn't only protecting himself, he was protecting Juelz, Lil Wayne, and the whole squad he believed in. People underestimate how rare it is for an artist to slow down and say, wait, this deal makes no sense, especially when the whole world is waiting on something huge.
But Steve Garley and Def Jam at the particular time didn't okay. But I get the blame. Yo, Cam is hating. Cam don't want Juelz's project to come out. Yeah, it's fucked up, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. Niggas don't really understand the back story on what's going on. And niggas probably still say that to this day. Pardon me?
I thought you was foul for that.
Yeah,
okay.
I was foul. Oh, because you thought I was foul. It's fun, son. It's
I thought you was foul for not letting the album come out. I'm like, yo, what's up, man? Like, what the fuck? Like, I did.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I could clear that up for you. At the end of the day, that's what happened. And a lot of people still think that, yo, Cam may do that. Listen, I'm not, why would I want to stop making money? My whole thing was to make Juelz a star, make Juelz rich. However it played out towards the end, it played out towards the end. But, you know, Juelz said it, Cam gonna make me a star, he gonna make me $1 million. We both did what we said we was gonna do.
Most artists don't talk openly about this stuff, and even fewer break it down the way Cam did, so hearing him explain it made the situation way clearer than all the rumors floating around. When you really zoom out, this moment on Talk with Flea wasn't just about one album, it exposed a bigger truth about the music industry. Talent is powerful, but it's not enough on its own, not when labels can twist numbers around and flip the whole situation upside down. If an artist doesn't understand contracts, timing, and percentages, even their biggest opportunity can fall apart before it ever gets released. Cam saw the trap coming and made a strategic move instead of falling for the hype, and honestly, that's the kind of mindset that keeps careers alive. He chose structure over chaos, long-term success over quick glory, and real protection over flashy promises. And that's something more people in the industry need to recognize before signing anything that looks shiny on the surface.
So that was why would I want to stop that? I would not want to stop that, but it didn't make financial sense. And sometimes and I'm not talking about myself or Juelz or anybody. I'm just talking about in general. Sometimes people don't want to make sense. That's your favorite line, Sid, actually. When I'm making sense to you and you be like, I don't want to make sense right now.
He says that?
Yeah, he says it a lot.
Shut up, Z.
See, I get it now, because that ain't make no sense.
Yeah.
What you just said.
Yes, yeah, I don't want to make sense. He just wants to feel the way he feels. But that's probably one of the biggest rumors. And if y'all don't, Google Steve Garley and call his office. I don't mean to put all this pressure on you, Steve, but hit that nigga up in action.
What Camron laid out is the kind of lesson everybody in the creative world needs to pay attention to, whether you're an artist, a business owner, or somebody building something from scratch. Not every smart move comes with explosions and headlines. Sometimes the smartest move is the one nobody sees, the one that keeps the foundation solid for years instead of chasing a quick moment of hype. One thing that stood out heavy is how Cam didn't hide from the rumors at all. He stepped right into the conversation and broke everything down with clarity. Instead of letting people run wild with guesses and half-truths, he gave real context, the kind that shuts down confusion instantly. That alone shows he wasn't scared of the narrative. He just wanted the truth on the table. People love to talk about album got blocked, deal fell apart, money disappeared, like it's always something shady or dramatic. But this discussion showed the other side of the story loud and clear.
You got a lot of people that feel that way. That feel like Wayne, he got that rock star look from you.
Wayne was a student of the game, just like we all should be. I know I was. Anything niggas say Wayne got from me, you know what I mean? Niggas don't know I took things from Wayne, you know what I'm saying? Or niggas may know too. But at the end of the day, that's what it was. You're supposed to figure out what you could take from somebody and add to your arsenal. You know what I'm saying? And learn how to do that, but still be yourself and you know, still have your own identity. And you know what I mean? You know how to do that.
I can't feel my face. Why that never came out?
A lot of politics. I can't feel my face was all politic situation. Me and Wayne was, you know what I mean? Me and Wayne was on the same page at all costs. So even after that, Wayne and T-Pain was supposed to drop an album called T-Wayne. That never came out. So, you know, that time it was just too much politics. Like it wasn't like that. Had never happened before. We would have been the first ones to do it. Me and Wayne were in a position to make it happen the way we wanted to make it happen. Because we wanted to make it happen, but it was so much that we was connected to that was bigger.
There's a whole world behind the music. Negotiations, timing, rights, percentages, protection. And if you're not locked in on that side, you can lose everything before a single track even drops. And what Cam explained proves something bigger. Even when a project doesn't come out, the strategy behind the scenes can still set everybody up for long-term wins. A smart delay can save careers, save brands, and save millions, even if fans don't see the moves being made. Real leadership doesn't always look flashy. Sometimes it looks like saying not right now, when everybody else expects a yes. When you really look back at what happened, it becomes clear Camron wasn't blocking money. He was protecting it with precision. He wasn't shutting down opportunity. He was making sure nobody walked into a situation where the label walked away rich while the artist got scraps. That kind of foresight is rare, and it's priceless in hip-hop, where one wrong contract can end everything. Cam kept the vision alive by keeping the artist safe, keeping the numbers fair, and keeping the brand strong enough to survive whatever came next. That takes patience, discipline, and a lot of business sense, and it's exactly why his perspective matters so much in this story. It's a reminder that being talented is one thing, but knowing how to move smart is what keeps you winning in the long run. When you really break this whole situation down, it forces you to think about what you would have done in Camron's position. Imagine sitting on a project the entire culture is waiting for, a collaboration people still talk about years later, and you gotta choose between dropping it for the hype or protecting the artists involved. That's not an easy call at all, and most people only see the excitement.
Yeah. That's all. Let me see that again. The MOB.
Yep. Smack a bitch with the same hand right here.
You know what that stands for. See, you heard him, right? You heard him, right?
Yeah.
They don't feel the pressure behind a move like that. A lot of artists today get caught up in the spotlight and forget the reality of the business side, and that's where the trouble starts. Labels still hold a lot of power, especially over new talent, and too many artists walk into deals thinking about the moment instead of the long-term future. That's why stories like this matter, because they show what it looks like when somebody actually stops and thinks before signing away their whole situation. Cam wasn't just thinking about himself, he was thinking about the whole team, the whole brand, and the whole legacy attached to that album. Dropping a huge project under a bad split would have been a disaster for everyone involved, no matter how good the music was. He wasn't scared to wait, he wasn't scared to speak up, and he wasn't scared to walk away from a hype moment if it didn't make sense. That's rare leadership right there. And let's be real, a lot of artists today could use that kind of mindset. Some of them jump into deals without reading past the first page, and then months later, they're online saying they got trapped or underpaid. Meanwhile, the labels walk off with full pockets and zero accountability. That's why conversations like this hit deep. They remind people that talent isn't enough without strategy, patience, and understanding the game behind the curtain. So now the real question becomes this. If you were sitting in Cam's seat back then, what would you have done? Would you have dropped the album anyway just to give the fans what they were waiting for, even if the numbers were terrible? Or would you have taken the slow, smart route and protected the whole squad like he did? And do you think today's artists are finally catching on to the business game, or are labels still controlling too much without anyone pushing back? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I want to hear how you see it. Make sure you hit that like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories just like this. And before you head out, check out the next video that's on your screen right now. It's packed with even more celebrity drama you don't want to miss. See you on the next one.